Welcome to the channel. This is Trade with JDFX. In today's video, we want to do a trade recap on the previous trade I took the previous weeks. How do I come about this trade? If you're not in my Telegram channel or my WhatsApp channel, I actually draw the signals of all the setups I'm about to explain in this video in my WhatsApp channel and Telegram channel, showing them the process, getting in this trade and the trade exit as well. So you can always check the description for the link and join now. Alright, so how do I come about this setup? I've actually talked about this strategy on my channel. If you go and watch or when I talked about this channel, you understand the psychology behind trading this channel. So I'm not about explaining that now because I already explained that. So you can always watch out for the video and watch the video about that. So how do I come about these setups? It's very simple. I'm going to be using a new chart to explain this. Now, first thing first, what I did was it's just starting from the weekly time frame, which is where I analyze once I'm approaching a new week. So I just start from the new week time frame to know exactly what I'm looking for that week. So starting from the new weekly time frame, this was this week that just closed now. So at that time, price was here. But looking at the price action that is here, I could see that this year, this one above here, we had a break above here, but a body of the candle didn't close above it in the week. It was like a week closed above it, then price sweep down. So, and here we have the closest low. So looking at this price action here, price was here, and what I was expecting for is what I'm expecting a drop to somewhere around this other block we have here, this place. Because if you have to understand an uptrend, is after we had this sweep here on the weekly time frame, which is not really a close above, we just like swept above it and closed below it immediately, which is telling me that we are likely to see more drop even to the downside. Currently, if you look at this, and this also look like what a graph of liquidities of this high, and we might actually be seeing more drops. So I already know what I'm looking for the week. That okay, what I'm looking for this week is, so I will be targeting is this other block that is here. That is going to be my target for the week. So from there, I move straight to the daily time frame, and on daily time frame, that is where I could see, you can see this was the low I marked here, and you can see it, and that time price was trading above here, which is what, once I get in this trade, I have to understand that this is going to be my first take profit target, and this down here, so I can modify it. The more I go lower in time frame, I'll be modifying it. Here is what the final target which I'll be approaching. So I already understand that concept. All right. And looking for it on the daily time frame, I could see this kind of channel playing out here, but though it's not really clear on the daily time frame. But if I go to 4 hours time frame, actually going to be see that channel. So it's here. Connect this one, this two together, then I drag it down. So you can see just like this, then I move it like this. So then I can shift the channel back so it accommodates the whole area I want to activate. So I could see that here we have this channel playing out here on the daily time frame, which is aligning with my target bias here. You could see the downside of the channel, which is aligning with my target here. The previous week before this week's open, I actually took the buy to this place, so which we should see on the setup today. Then when it gets here, what am I looking for is the sell. So at that time I was on the 3 hours time frame. So let me just go straight to the 3 hour time frame. So what I waited for was what we had price approaching this area. Immediately price touched this trend. I have these weeks here. So first thing first was what I marked out this area that let me see how price reacts here. So first when price touched it, dropped. Then the second time it came back there again, couldn't break above it. Then the body, this particular candle closed like this. That was immediately where I got in this trade for a short. So I got in this trade here, right here, immediately this candle close here for a short. Then my target was just all the way to this place here, and my stop loss was just above here. So this was how my trade looks like. That was just the trade I took. And you can see that we are very close to target on that one. I think the target is somewhere here. So very close on that one. And I knew that this was going to be my first level target, which is what I've actually used for the first level target is if price comes to this zone and reacts off it, maybe back to the other block, I will have a position which I actually indeed had a pending order which I said there, but price did actually tap me in the drop again. So, but I only took one trade on the GPUSD, which you can see the screenshots here, and these are the trades I took. So why price come here? What I waited for was what price. So why price gets here? Immediately I see this candle close on the 3 hour time frame, closing back as a rejection candle. Then that was my entry. Just put my stop loss above here. Then I target this down. So that was how I come about the GBP USD trade. But if you want to be more conservative on this kind of trade, actually, if I go to the 1 hour time frame, it actually gives another beautiful entry, which is the first day I got in was here. So this was there I got in because I knew I got in around this area. So stop loss was just here. So the first trade I got in was here. We had this massive drop to the downside. That was market about closing, maybe, or is it Tuesday or so? Yes, the market was about closing. And so I got in this one. Immediately I saw this price rejected here. I got in. Then what? We sell down. Then the following day, I think, which was where the price came back again. And where did price come back to this area? This is where we had our what CISD change state of delivery. So you can see this was the previous low price, took it out, and what now this is not a really clear close below, but you can see that at least we have a body we cannot closing below. Then the last other block that price left while it took out this low is where you want to what getting your entry, and you can see price tapping on that other block and sell. So if actually want to have the second position, after have the second position here, but I wasn't just interested in adding second position because I asked for that setup. I was monitoring as well. And you can see this was a CISD, which will be a confirmation trade for the next day, and price tapped in right here, and the what sell. So excuse me. So I can actually do this like I've done what it has done. So which I just target back to when trying to touch the back this place, and this was how I had that beautiful trade on GBP USD. So you can see this is my my normal chart here. So if I show you, so you can see look exactly like this. So this was the area which I talked about the CISD. So you can see it, and you can see my target too as well. So this is the risk reward of 1 to 7.49. This was how I had a beautiful trade, and you can see how the trade is playing out well. And also on the 1 hour time frame, I also saw this other block that price left here, which is also in line with this place. That was what made me to get in this trade for the first entry, which is price rejected from that block first time, came back the second time again, and price closed. You can see immediately that candle closed. So next candle open, I got in, and price sold all the way down. So this was how I got in this trade, and you can see for this buy, price here gets here, take liquidity off this low, then went up, started consolidating. Then this last year, I could understand that this is an inducement, which I just marked this other block, and I think this other block is from 30 minutes time frame. So just going back to the 30 minutes time frame now. So you can literally see that is the other block, the last red candle that was struck before price started consolidating. So you can see I'm price tapped back into it. So I was actually expecting it to maybe take liquidity off this high, then tapped into this area before sell. But immediately I saw that it expected it didn't go above it 2 times. So I just closed this by trade, then getting for the sell trade. So this was just how I got in this trade. And using what just this channel trading combining with the SMC strategy. So I've actually talked about this channel trading strategy in my YouTube channel, so you can check out for the video as well. If you have to follow the SMC properly, you will see that here we have a break of structure here. So after this break of structure downside, what we want to wait for? We want to wait for price to retrace to at least Fibonacci golden zone or the OTE trading zone. So which is here we had it in the OTE zone, and which gives me more confidence that I have to get in this trade. So you can see like three things coming together. I have the channel first, I have this other block sitting right here, also the Fibonacci OTE zone right there, and this was why I took that sale. And you can see the sale played out very beautifully. So this is for GBP USD. This is what I got it on GBP USD. So now let's go to Euro USD, which was the second one I took the trade. So now this is Euro USD right in front of me. So what I used to get in this trade is very simple. So I can see where price retraced here, couldn't tap into this area, then what rejected. So which is what an inducement, and immediately it went there. Just what I explained on GBP USD on the higher time frame. So this 30-minute time frame, I have this here like a shift. So you can see that I didn't close above it. Then what took this out? So this is CISD delivery. Then the last other block that price left actually to getting back to it was this candle here. But the reason why I didn't put this pending order right here is because you could see that we had like a supply level here. So you could see some rejections here. So what I just gotta use the old place as my area of interest. So if I actually go to the higher time frame, it's actually like the last candle that price dropped here. So you can see this is the other block on the 3 hours time frame. But on this 15 minutes time frame, it's not the last candle actually. So you could see that this was the last candle, the like a rejection candle or block, a rejection candle that price led for dropping off, giving up a CISD, and what that was where price tapped into, and that was exactly what I got in this trade for Euro USD. And you can see as well, Euro USD is very close to TP. So this was that I also take trade on Euro USD. So I actually started the analysis also as well on the higher time frame. So you can see all this consolidation, please. I think this one was on the daily time frame. So yes, so you can see hidden block. So this HB which you see here actually stands for hidden block. And what is hidden block? So on the higher time frame, when you see, actually I'll make the video explaining this particular trading strategy here. It's very, very simple. When you see like a massive red candle, whether you're in a bullish market or a bearish market. So I'm just using the bearish market for example now, because I'm actually looking for a sell. So when you see this kind of candle, massive red candle drops, then you see another one, like if the candle first went up to create the wick, but the body of this candle close and the open of this candle close actually is in the same place. So you can see it. So here you just mark from this wicks here all the way to this wicks here is the hidden block. So you can see it like this, something like this. So this was where we had the hidden block. But if you actually check it very well here on the here, you can see that this guy didn't even get to that hidden block before tapping into that area, which was when I go lower in time frame, I try to modify it. So I just actually use there's an FVG here on the lower time frame. So you can see that even on this higher time frame, if I delete this guy now, if I delete this one now, as well delete this. I'll just put this one side now. So I'll click this and I'll put it one side. So looking at this is the weeks of the candle, right? And this is another weeks. So in between here is what is FVG. And what you just need to go to what? So you can see here and here. From here to here is the fair value gap area, right? So what you just need to go in lower time frame and modify the entry, and that was exactly what I did. And that was how I got in this particular trade. But I didn't actually get in when this one shipped in, when this one come into it, because it didn't really get to this hidden block I'm expecting here. So I didn't actually get into it. So I actually had to wait for a CISD confirmation change, which I got on the 1 hour time frame, which is exactly what I used to get in the trade. So you can see this is the CISD confirmation trade, and that is one point the reason why I got in the trade. Two, I had a sweep above this high and price rejected immediately. That's the second reason. So the first reason is actually the sweep above this high and rejected, closing below back this last word that was created here, which gave us CISD. So actually to say that CISD is not a change of character, this is actually where the change of character is. So you can see this was where the low was taken, a change of character, then turn back into it. But here is CISD. So using the CID with the other block, so you can see it. That's my second confirmation. And this third confirmation was what? A trend line break. So a trend line break, a clear break outside of it and engulfing. When you actually see a clear break engulfing like this, closing above it, that's a clear break. That's not a fake out. And what is also, I just wait for price to come back to this my area of interest, and price actually did come back there, and that was where I had the second entry. And you can see this actually reached for 1 to 8.6 and delivered. So the next one on my trade watch list, which I took, was USDCAD. So anything that is making me for looking for a buy on Euro USD, BUSD, actually I've been looking for sell on USDCAD. So if I'm looking for sell on Euro USD, BUSD, I'm looking for buying opportunity on USDCAD and USDPY. So I was actually interested in trading the USDPY and USDCAD together, which I told to my community that you can actually see the post buy USD card now once the market open, buy USD and USDPY once the market open. So you can see that. But actually, GBP, US, but actually USDPY didn't have me here. So let me just show you the one of USDPY here. So this is just very, very simple. So this is very, very simple. So actually, what made me miss this trade was because it's already gives the confirmation. So before the markets section close, like during the day. So which I didn't get that confirmation to take in the trade. And so I was just waiting, hoping if price could come back for a second confirmation, but which price didn't give the second confirmation. I will actually later get in the trade, but I wasn't just interested in getting in this trade. So you can see this is just a very simple strategy. Actually the trend line, so you can see I noticed something similar here, same thing repeating here. So that's first thing. So the second one here is if I go to the 30-minute time frame, so which is actually where I got to the entry. So you can see after this price came here, break this trend line, right? Broke above it. Actually, when it gets rejecting above, actually have an engulfing closing above it. So actually, when I have this, then this was the other block that was left here, right? I wait. What I'm expecting is for price to come back to this area, and what say right? Let me just remove this thing and put this. Let me see the time. So you can see that the time was around 6:30 in the evening. So I was just waiting for. I don't want to pay for swap fees, so I was just waiting for the next section to open so I could get in. But during that 6:30 in the evening, why price tapped into this back into this other block, price took off. So I was just expecting to consolidate in that area. So next section open, but immediately price took off. So USD price sometimes is kind of aggressive. So price took off, and when it took off, when it was coming back, I was just expecting to come back to this also last other block that was left here and was tapping in, but unfortunately price didn't get there and took off from there. So you can see it took off from there, even went straight to TP. This was actually Fibonacci change from 1 to 8 and price ATP. So my final target is actually to this zone you are seeing right here, which is I think from the daily time frame. If I show you this particular zone, so you can see it. So that was the zone I'm expecting the target to. But for USD card did actually, for USD JPY did not actually tap me in. But you can see the trade was very, very neat. Nice set of plays out, very, very, very neat. Very, very neat. All right. And it just what it is. So if actually wanted to get in that, even I was getting here for my support there, and so I've been a very beautiful trade all the way to this upside. Actually see that this USD JPY actually took off liquidities of this low. So you can see before it actually break the trend line. And that's just some of the confirmation I check out for. And you can also see Fibonacci to as well, because I use Fibonacci a lot. You can see Fibonacci to as well. Also, price tapped into what the OTE zone, so which is telling me I cannot take an entry. So most of my entry is based on either this Fibonacci golden zone here. So the between 50% retracement and 6.18 is my Fibonacci golden zone, and between 7.8 to 6.18 is the Fibonacci OTE zone. You can see a body of the candle actually tapped into it, which is confirmation for me to take a buy. So what I just need to see what a bounce off of that zone, then a retreat, a retest of it again. Now that I should get it, but eventually that's just these are just the confirmation I use for trading. So I do have a break of structure pullback and very nice. So USD see very, very much in an uptrend. It's very, very much in an uptrend. But when I'm seeing this market, you can be expecting that coming week price might come take out these lows, come here and do this. But actually I can tell you maybe price will first if this price is still very, very, very bullish. So what you're going to see here is price is going to first get here, then took out this double bottom that is here, tap into this other block that is here, and what then shoot up for another leg above something like this. So this is actually the other block I'm talking about. So tap into the other block and what's take off from there. So we might actually see that in the coming week. So that's for USDPY. But also able to get on USD card, which is very, very beautiful trade. You can see the screenshots here. So for USD card, it was very, very simple. I actually dropped this video on my TikTok channel. You can go and check it. I explained even before getting into this trade what I'm looking for, and exactly that will play out. So starting this USD analysis from the daily time frame. So this was how I analyzed it. I started from the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, because this was on Wednesday, I think so. So on the daily time frame, what I could see here was a trend line, like a up channel playing, price come tap into it, went back, took off liquidity space, came back again. So and rejected above it first time, second time again rejected above it. So I think this should be where this Tuesday. So on Wednesday, market open. So I just dropped a video when the market is about to open. I said taking an entry in this spot. So which if you go to the 3 hour time frame, let me show you. So this is on 3 hour time frame. So you could okay, it's not yet on 3 hour time frame. I think that should be on the 1 hour time frame. So this actually is on the 1 hour time frame. So we can see this we have this other block here, and this particular one tapped into this area, rejected, went up, and price came back to this last other block that was here, went up again, and this was when market wanted to open on Wednesday. So I could actually see that this was the previous place that the consolidation actually you can see the body of the candle here, body. So most of the body of the candle were closing and opening here. So which is where I marked as an interest of area that once price tap into it, I just put my stop loss below this guy. Once price tap into it, I'll get in. So I which actually add to entry before market open. Immediately market open, I think price was here somewhere here. So I got in the first one, then price came back down again, getting the second for the downside one. And you can see that's the trade entry on the USD card. And that was how I have this beautiful trade to the upside. So you can see this my target one get hit and just targeting um area here for the second one, which if the sell actually will actually need to see a treatment, even if the buy wants to continue. So you might actually see something like this, hitting this area first, then kind of pull back to this area to test the whole of this area because this area will become a resistance area. So price is going to retest it as support to the previous resistance. So once price comes before back to it, become a resistance, then we can have a clear breakout move. So, but for now, this is actually where I'll be targeting first. So this is I just the trades I took on. These are just the trades I took with the pairs that paired with USD. So these are just the previous trades. And actually I have Nasdaq as well. So this one I dropped this in my private community. It was not in the free community. So you can see Nasdaq here too as well. It's not a very simple entry model. So I'm actually expecting these guys to pull into this space, but didn't get into it, but which was fine. So and what I just waited for was here very, very simple, which I do talk about very well. To see this massive engulfing. After we had this consolidation here, so see this consolidation here. Then we have this massive engulfing closing below it. So here is what is my CISD. Because CISD actually happened before we actually spot CISD before change of character or anything. Now, even before the market reverse, actually going to see it very clear. So this is CISD. What I will just wait for price to tap back into it itself. So actually price tapped into itself, still came back there again, tapped into it, the midpoint of it again, then sell off. So this was how I have this beautiful trade on NAS 100 and so first level target is actually this area here, and the second level target is going to be this, and you can see price is dropping very fast. And this is 81 to 9.9. All right, so this is just the way I took all this trade very, very simple. And most of the strategy I've talked about them on my channel. The one I know I've not really talked about is the CISD trading strategy, and I think there's also one I mentioned earlier, which I've not talked about, which I'm actually going to make a video about it. So these are just the trade I took for the previous week, and also have some setups as well, which I analyzed. So I'm going to be doing another video for that and explaining those setups. So if you're finding value in this channel, you want to hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you don't start it when I drop something like this. And I catch you in the next one. Peace out.